2 years into my gym journey, and I made a massive leap in progress for my physique. So let me give you an insight into the two gyms. The first gym I trained at was a pro athlete gym. Pro athlete boxers, all of people in different sports who wanted results came to this gym to train. The second gym was a government run council leisure centre. The first gym, everyone trained and took the gym seriously. So the second gym, people weren't as serious. You still have the odd guy who was quite big, but the majority of the people there didn't take the gym anywhere near as seriously as they did in the pro athlete gym. This meant that when I changed environments, going from influenced by people who are taking it very seriously and being very focused with their training, to an environment where people weren't as focused and they took it as a place to be a bit more healthier, so they didn't really understand how to train properly. My character stood out in that environment. I was more charismatic and confident because people come up to me and ask me, Ethan, how do you get so big? Ethan, how do you train properly? They'll ask me for tips about exercises to do or just how to improve the physique. I even had one guy come up to me one time and he said, Yo, bro. I usually don't say yo or bro, but he went, Yo, bro, your physique's massive. Your physique's great. I want to be like you. And I thought, wow, this is like, I feel like David Lade or something. I feel like Sebum, where people look up to them and like, oh, wow, I want to have that physique. That's how I felt. I felt like I had a follower or a fan coming up to me saying, Ethan, I want your physique. Your physique is so great. That felt great. And that made me so much more confident in that gym. So, which one do you think I trained better at? Of course, it was the one where I felt more confident, and it was the second gym where I was more charismatic, I was more focused because I was more confident. In the second gym, everyone was just used to people being big, everyone was used to everyone having a phenomenal physique. In the second one, you feel like you have to focus more and set a standard. You have to hold your reputation, making you train harder. In the second gym, I also made new friends. And because I was teaching them new things, it meant that I had to go into really specific detail. This means that I was also recapping my own knowledge and seeing how much I learned myself. And sometimes I'd even come up with new things and I'll learn something new just from teaching someone else. They could point out something like, oh, maybe I should put my arms a bit further out on the lat pull down bar. And I'm like, oh, yeah, maybe you should. Or do a new grip or something, it will target a new muscle. Oh, yeah, that's true. And I'll try it and it will work. And then I've learned something new. But talking about moving to a new gym, you should try it, but don't do it consistently. It's not a negative thing if you do. You see people on YouTube, they travel the world and they go to loads of different gyms every day. They're fine. Mike Thurston, he goes to a gym every month, goes to Ibiza, goes to Dubai, goes to all these different gyms, and he's fine. But the reason why I say don't jump gyms is because it's just more efficient and it's just so much easier to go to a gym, understand it, and you can consistently train there rather than wasting time to understand where all the machines are and see what else is there, and it just wastes time. You need to ask yourself, are you prioritizing your physique? Out of everything in your life, is your physique your main focus? You might have studies to do in school. You might have family issues. You might be looking for a relationship, which a physique would help. But if you want to see improvement in your physique, you need to prioritize it. The more time you spend learning about your physique and learning about how to improve your physique, the more you are going to improve it. I wouldn't say the same for the more time you spend training your physique, because I'm targeting a natural audience, not people that are on steroids. If you're on steroids, you can train a lot more, like a stupid amount more than if you're natural, because you recover a lot faster. But for the natural audience, you can't train 6 times a week and still see progress. You're going to diminish your progress. So I would say train in an optimal range of 3 to 4 times a week. But moving on to actually prioritizing your physique, you can prioritize it by just learning more about it. Watch videos, watch my videos, and just learn new techniques, learn better form, learn how to eat better, how to diet, how to sleep and recover your body properly, even how to use cold exposure before and after your training. To prioritize your physique, you also need to stay consistent. You can do this by having routines. I so easily made progress for my physique just because I was consistent. I used to have a routine of going to school and then walk from school to the gym, and from gym walk home every day, except the rest days obviously, but every day I trained. That was my routine. So it was practically impossible for me to just skip a day, because I'll have to walk past the gym and then I would know, oh, I've just skipped the gym today. I'd have that gut feeling where I feel so bad. I would just feel lazy for skipping the gym if I had to go home rather than go to the gym. So I want you to make a routine. If you don't have a routine and you don't know how to make one, you can check the link in the description. I've got a course there. It's all in the course. You can find a routine that's already pre-made, or you can walk through it with me now. You can start by writing the days of the week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, now it's done on a piece of paper. As the headings, go to the days that you're free. I want you to choose 4 days of the week that you can go to the gym. Now, on them days, for one of them, it's going to be a leg day. The next one is going to be a chest, tricep, and shoulder day. On the next day, it's going to be back, biceps, and traps. Then on the final day, it's going to be abs and your neck. Now that you've finished this, you have a consistent plan and you need to stick to it. Put it somewhere that you're going to constantly see it. Maybe stick it above your bed, so every time you wake up, you make your bed, you can see it above your headboard. Maybe stick it next to your mirror, so every time you get ready in the morning, you see your routine, and it's just a reminder. It's constantly in your mind, so you feel even worse if you skip the gym. You're going to feel terrible if you skip the gym. Also, a few ways that I make the gym enjoyable is by having caffeine. Caffeine is a great stimulant and a great drug to use for the gym. Very, very low drawbacks to this drug, except if you overly do it. Don't go past 2 grams. You don't ever need more than 2 grams of caffeine, and I never advise you to go close to it. But have caffeine once in a while. On them days you feel sluggish, have some caffeine. Focus. Stimulants are great. Maybe not nicotine, but caffeine. Caffeine's good. Now, getting into more depth about caffeine. Don't use it every day. Don't let it become something that you rely on. Have deload weeks. You've probably heard this before with the gym. You have deload weeks for a rest to let your body recover. By the way, all that can be completely negotiated, and by the way, deload weeks can be completely gotten rid of from your routine if you know how to train properly. You don't need them. Just recover properly. But back on track with caffeine. You need to have a deload week with caffeine, otherwise you become dissociated with it, and that's what leads to you becoming addicted to caffeine and really relying on it. And then it's not, and then the ROI of caffeine is just so bad. It's useless at that point because you're chasing such a high amount. You're not going to get a benefit from it. In fact, it'll actually ruin the next time you train because you're going to be very, very tired. Let's say you train on Monday, Tuesday is going to be a bad day to train. I also use music quite often. Same thing for music. I realised if I go 2 days without music in the gym after training, and then the third day I use music, the music actually helps me a lot more. But still use music quite regularly. It just helps you focus and just not talk to a lot of people around you here and there. That's okay when you finish your set. But if you're mid-set and someone comes over to you, starts speaking to you, which happens to me quite regularly, music's a great way to just stay focused and keep on training. And now one of the most important factors of making the gym enjoyable is setting small goals. In fact, I want to make that big. Setting small goals. If it goes that far. If it goes that far. The camera angle. Setting small goals. Now, it's so important because it gives you a positive momentum through the gym. Same reason, as I said before, with my friends giving me confidence, and I felt like I had to hold the reputation. Setting small goals builds up your confidence and builds up your self-esteem in the gym. For an example, it can be getting to a specific weight. Mine was getting to 80 kg bench. That's one of the goals I set. Maybe yours is being 80 kg. Maybe yours is gaining 10 pounds of muscle. Great goals to set. Maybe it's going for a new deadlift record, strength. Maybe it's even speaking to a girl in the gym. Go speak to her. Go set that goal. Just build a positive reinforcement with the gym in your mind through setting small goals. Find a reason to work out more and find a reason to want to work out. Don't let it be something you rely on, but motivation is great. Everyone says that motivation's just something that you shouldn't rely on. You need discipline all the time. Discipline's good. Don't neglect it. But also, don't neglect motivation. Motivation is great. You need motivation. Motivation is going to keep you ahead of everyone who's just relying on discipline. Because you have both. You have the best of both worlds now. On the days where people are just using discipline, you're using motivation. You want to work out. You're in the gym and you're actually enjoying your workout. You want to be there. Whilst you look over at the guy in the corner who's just using his discipline and he's got his headphones on and he's not speaking to anyone because he's just trying to stay focused, trying to stay locked in on the winter arc. And he is miserable. He is miserable. Something that made him happy, the gym. When he started the gym, he would have been happy. But now, he's using his discipline because he's been told to not use motivation. He would have been motivated to start. He would have had an FTE, a fuck this event. And that's based on motivation. A fuck this event is where something bad happens in your life. Or just you end up having a situation where you just think, fuck this, I'm going to the gym. Maybe it's a girl breaking up with you. Maybe it's you look at your physique and you just hate it. So you go to the gym. That's based on motivation. He started the gym based on motivation, but now he's been told to not use it. And he's crumbled to that idea. And now he's miserable because he's just using discipline. Don't be like him. Use motivation and use discipline. Stay ahead of him. Be ahead of them. Use both. I want to make it very clear because you don't want to be in the gym and be miserable. It's horrible. It's shit. It ruins your experience. But also, you're lucky that you're watching my content because my content is targeted towards people that want to build an attractive physique. So that's your reasoning. Your reasoning is to attract women. But we can do better than this. We can be more ambitious than just stopping there. Let's take it a bit further and maybe even just find a woman that you want to pursue. And now build that physique and go speak to her and go attract her. Stay ambitious. But if you want to get more information like this and you want to improve your physique drastically like I have, on top of this, you can also get all of my knowledge that I've put together in a course for people like yourself. Goodbye.